Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance to Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. In this video presentation, I'm going to be sharing 4 principles that have helped me complete a project. I believe the principles, when applied, can also benefit you as you work on projects or work on completing goals. To read the article, I'll put my glasses back on and bring up the article. I want to thank you for your time. You're an important part of my process, and I always enjoy our times together. Here's the article: How I Created My First Ebook Using Different Principles. In today's article, I would like to share something that may benefit you. Let me explain. Several years ago, my best friend helped me to begin a project of putting together an ebook. We worked on the project and then hit some impasses with his ability to continue to help me with the project. Consequently, the project stayed on the proverbial shelf. About a month ago, during a conversation with another friend, she suggested and encouraged me to put together a book. So I spoke with my friend who helped me to begin the project in 2011 about continuing with the project of the ebook. As we spoke about continuing with the project, he encouraged me to learn how to construct an ebook for myself, as he would not always be available to help me. His suggestion of learning how to construct an ebook seemed daunting to me and overwhelming, given what we had worked on together. Nevertheless, I started on my journey of discovering how to create my first ebook. First of all, I needed to decide on which program to use to create the ebook. I do not have Microsoft Office, nor can I afford to obtain a copy of Microsoft Office. My friend suggested that I use either OpenOffice or LibreOffice, which are both open source productivity suites. Open source means that you do not have to pay to use them. Both OpenOffice and LibreOffice offer similar capabilities from what I understand that Microsoft Office offers. So what I did after doing some research, I made the decision to use OpenOffice Writer, which is part of the OpenOffice Productivity Suite, to write my ebook. After making this decision, I did extensive research over the course of 35 plus hours using various video presentations that people uploaded to YouTube on how to create an ebook using OpenOffice Writer. I took notes and retook notes and attempted to follow the patterns that my friend John had set for me to build an ebook when we started working on the project in 2011. None of what I learned and attempted seemed to work until I attempted to apply the principles of what I learned through the various YouTube presentations and by examining the framework that my friend used in 2011. By combining the terminology and the illustrations, I was able to make the process of creating an ebook work for me. I'm glad that I did not give up on the process. I'm glad that I persevered through using different principles that I've learned on my journey. This is a quote that I like by Albert Einstein. He said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." That has been my experience too. If you stay with problems longer, you'll find solutions if you keep looking. My ebook, my first ebook, is Living with a Brain Injury ebook, Putting the Pieces in Place, 60 Video Presentations. And that's a PDF file which can be downloaded and is free to download. Below are a few of the principles that I applied that helped me through the process of learning and creating my first ebook. The highlighted and underlined links attached to the principles are articles that I have written which further explain the principle that I use in the creation of my ebook. And here on Second Chance to Live in the article, which I'll include a link to in the description portion and on my YouTube video, that you can then come back to by copying and pasting that particular link into your browser. It'll bring you to this particular article, and I have links to the articles that I have attached to the principle here, and you can click on them and they'll take you to the article. Here are the principles. The principle and the riddle. How do you eat an elephant? Answer, one bite at a time. Although the project seemed daunting at times, by remembering that I could accomplish the project one bite at a time, I stayed within the process. And the article is traumatic brain injury and the elephant. The principle of pieces. Individually, the pieces of the project independently did not seem to make much sense to me. But as I joined them together collectively, they helped me to complete the project. And the article attached to it is Creating a Destiny Through Puzzle Pieces and Threads. The next principle, the third principle, is the principle of baking the cake. Individual ingredients in the process of creating my ebook did not work to bake my cake or create my ebook, but by combining the various ingredients, I was able to bake the cake by looking to the different sources of wisdom and insight through various YouTube video presentations, and by following different patterns, I was able to gain the insight to use the necessary ingredients to bake my cake or my first ebook. And the article attached to that is Accomplishing Goals and Baking Cakes. The last principle, the fourth principle, is the principle of slow and steady. By realizing that I was in a process, a journey of sorts, I remembered that I could learn at my own pace. I remembered that slow and steady wins the race. And the article attached to this particular principle, the fourth principle, is Living with a Brain Injury and the Fable of the Tortoise and the Hare. Today's thought. In the event that you are thinking about starting a project, I would encourage you to use the above principles. The principle of the riddle, the principle of the pieces, the principle of baking a cake, and the principle of slow and steady. And as I found through the process of writing my first ebook, you can take, you can take the process one bite, one piece, one ingredient, and the process at your own pace. My only suggestion is that you stick with the process and not give up. If you need to get away from the project, do so, my friend. By getting away from the project and coming back, returning to the project, as I've found, you will think more clearly, when you start working back on the project. What did not seem to make sense will become more obvious to you. Over the course of time, you will consume your elephant. Put your puzzle pieces together, bake your cake, and win your race because you stuck with the process. This is the end of the article. I want to thank you again for being here. Before I go, let me encourage you with this. Please do not give up on your process of loving God or yourself. More will be revealed to us in time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. So long now.